Hello, hi, this is Cairo from DTLEADERSHIP. Welcome back to our webinar Innovation Literacy. This topic today, I would like to touch on Double Diamond, one of the tools that it's very popular in design thinking. So I hope you will enjoy this and you enjoy the past few videos that I did. So Double Diamond is actually started with design. I'll tell you a little bit of story about Double Diamond and how can you use it in your creativity and problem solving, particularly if you want to use design thinking. Recently, I met a client, and the client mentioned that the program that they did with another coach, another trainer, they use very old creative thinking method, like Ishikawa diagram, phosphate analysis, six thinking heads. And these are creative tools, definitely, but these are not exclusive to design thinking, right? So I was a little bit upset because sometimes you just bundle in a lot of other tools. So here I'm going to share with you tools that are actually originated or rather been exclusively used from design thinking perspective, so that you can have more tools in your toolbox. You can be better at your problem solving, right? So let's get a look at the slides I prepared for you all. Right, let's get going. Okay, so double diamond, yeah. So why call double diamond? Because it's actually looks like a diamond, I mean, the illustration image of a diamond. So again, the corporate culture is there, build innovation culture is there, right? So I've always been a proponent of innovation culture because I think the innovation culture more suitable and fitting in today's environment where organization now sees innovation as everybody's job, no longer just the chief level job, no longer just the R&D people job or what you call IT people or the research people or the digital team, but actually everybody's job. So let's take a look at this one tool called Double Diamond. So where it came from? So Double Diamond actually was developed by Design Council, right, in 2005, right? So we have this thing called Design Council. Design Council is not just for design thinking, but for design communities. Design could be graphic design, it could be fashion design, it could be interior design, it could be product design, many. So design thinking is one of the tools that designers use when they are developing products and services, right? So Double Diamond was created, in that council back in 2005. So it's only about coming to 20 years, right? So it's still fairly, I would say, a developing tool, right? So why it's called Double Diamond? Basically because it has one diamond here, another diamond over here. Right? So in this diamond, there are four elements, right? Discover, define, develop, deliver, right? So the first diamond dealing about what's the problem, right? So discover, define, and then the second diamond is about what's the solution, right? So in design thinking, we always start with the problem. Right? Although there are many other approaches saying that, we need to find solution, we shouldn't be problem thinking. With design thinking approach, we start with the problem. Without problem, there's no pull factor, right? There's no real need. There's no inspiration for us to find a solution, right? So in the what's the problem, basically we diverge. Diverge mean the thinking is opening up. Look at the problem, observe it, look at some of the issues. We go wide. So at the discover, the first phase, you understand all the relevant problems, causes, and knock-on effects. You want to understand who actually going through this problem, right? Where are these people? Who are the stakeholders of the problem, right? So forget about solution first, right? So what's the problem? Understand the cause, the root causes, problems. Knock-on effect means the what you call the ecosystem. Just like in system thinking, you look at the certain problem as what we call a product, a byproduct of another problem, right? The causes and effects. So you want to see that, right? So what you do normally in this stage, you will think wide, diverge. You look at the problem without any attempt to solve it, without any judgment to say that, oh, this problem is not real. No, you just want to explore, right? So once you understand that, you draw on the whiteboard or use sticky note to look, is it a customer problem? Is it a business problem? Is it a management problem, salary problem, IT problem, technical problem? Or it could be very specific situations, in business processes. For example, the processes are too many at one time. For example, now in festive season, logistic company will face a lot of queries, a lot of postages, a lot of deliveries. Right? So these are what we call seasonal problems. So you go to this specific level, also can. You can look into that. So the second part we call define. Once you understand that problem a little bit, you don't have to really find solution yet. You go to define. You combine what I've discovered to identify the key issues, right? Then this here where you converge. You start to zooming in. Okay, we have these few, maybe 10 problems that we have cluster them, or there's some themes. It could be digital delivery, business process, customers, long-term customer, new customer, onboarding, many others, right? You want to find key issues. Remember, in design thinking, instead of looking at the right solution, you're looking at the right problem to solve, right? There are so many problems. You don't have to solve everything at one time. So you pick and choose the problem that you feel close related to, you feel more inspired to solve, you pick that one, right? And sometimes we also in a project, we use the term 80-20. So we pick the 20 problem that could, 20% problem that could solve the 80% of the problem that we are facing, right? It could be business processes, it could be digital, any other. So you combine them and you put it in a theme, right? Then you go to the next part, which is the second diamond, which is what's the solution. Okay, you actually have a feel of the problem already. So you brainstorm, right? So brainstorm again, you start to diverge, right? You start to look into the what you call ideas that could be the potential solutions, right? You don't zoom in into a particular. And here, normally, you will experiment and test wide variety of possible solutions, right? So here, define, very likely you probably doing some interviews to talk to some strangers, people to validate the problem. And here you actually brainstorm some ideas, and probably you will be developing some prototypes, right? Some prototype, paper prototype, mock-up, wireframing. It could be an app, it could be a new processes, it could be a certain system, it could be a device. At one time when I went through design thinking with this approach, we actually developed a vending machine. Actually, it's a human live vending machine, actual size vending machine, but it was made of styrofoam and cardboard. We did that. So that's what we call prototyping, right? And test a wide variety of possible solutions, because you do prototyping using paper or using recycled item boxes, you can actually build and throw them away later on, right? It will probably take about 1 or 2 hours to develop or less. So you try out variety. You take boxes, you develop it could be for me a vending machine, and then we feel that, oh, people are worried about certain things. Then okay, like why not we develop a stall, a makeshift stall, to see whether that could be something that will attract people. So you brainstorm that, and then you look into the delivery where you try to deploy. Again, this part you converge, you narrow your focus onto the best solution, hone and launch them. Yeah, this is where you want to launch the solution. It could be at the first phase, beta testing, but you have a more refined prototype, a more refined product where you can get a little bit more features for the customer to try and experiment, right? So when to use double diamond? Discover initial problem is the part. So you first discover the initial problems, look abroad, talk to people, get a feel of it, because sometimes what could be the problem may not be the one that you have thought, right? So try to avoid judging the problem, because you are not the expert of the problem. You try to understand the problem, right? So secondly, define the business needs, alignment, right? So again, there's so many problems. If you are working on business innovation, align that with the business goals, right? Align that with business needs strategy. Remember, structure follows strategy, right? And then you develop and iterated potential solutions. So here you develop some wireframing, mock-up, paper prototypes to try out, try variety of potential solutions so that you can get a bit of more feedback and then validate it. Not validate the solution yet, you validate the problem. No, this problem is validated because the solution is a need, solve real issues, right? And you get to try also one or two main features, key features of that prototype that you built. And then you deliver the finalized solution. So this is the part where normally there are also a few what we call sub phases, where you phase it to launch, right? There's certain launch, small launch, MVP, MAP. There are many ways how you want to carve out the finalized solutions, right? So again, this is double diamond. One diamond two, what's the problem? And look at what's the solution. Right, so I hope you enjoy the video about double diamond. Hopefully it can be useful for your project next round. See you again in other videos, and I hope to see to cover a bit more case studies after this. We have touched some tools unique to design thinking. Let's start some case study. Let's see whether you can get inspired more with the case studies. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.